Hello, my friends, and welcome to my channel. This is my first video, and while I usually don't generate content for social networks, I felt that I wanted to talk about a subject that has been really bothering me in the last few months or even years. As you might have guessed from the title, today I want to talk about why so many immigrants, like myself, are against illegal immigration or even against immigration overall. To understand this, we need to start talking about where people that are against immigration are from. And based on my observation, people like this are usually from third world countries. It's very unlikely to see a German migrant to be against migration, but it's way more common to see a Mexican immigrant against immigration. And this has to do with the fact, to put it simple, that living in a third world country is, well, absolute hell. Unlike the romanticization that some people try to portray to movies, in media, or Instagram, etc. People that haven't lived their whole lives in such environments cannot comprehend what it's like to be surrounded by people that are hell bent, completely determined to destroy their surroundings. From small things like in these countries, most people are just unable to not litter. For them, throwing garbage on the floor is normal. They're incapable not to steal at every opportunity they have and reacting with violence at every single situation they're in. Overall, it's not an environment where anything comparison might want to live in. So my whole life, the only thing I wanted to do was to get out of there, to emigrate. Because me, um, like so many other people, but not definitely most people, I realized that when I said that I wanted to move to another country, it is not because I didn't like the country itself. I mean, the beaches, the mountains, the weather, the flowers, etc. No, what I really wanted to do is to get away from these people. This is what emigrating truly means, getting away from some people, which is something I would like to talk about in another video in more detail. I understood that when I said I wanted to live in a first world country, that what I really wanted is to live amongst first world people. And this is the thing that most immigrants fail to understand. They truly believe that a country is great, safe, clean, have good paying jobs because of something magical on the land. It's the soil itself. Like there's some sort of spell within a country's border that makes everything just to be great out of thin air. When in reality, it's because of the people living there and creating such conditions. And the opposite is equally true. The country is violent, messy, dirty, etc. It's because people there are violent and messy. Countries are a reflection of their people. But as I said before, this is what most immigrants and those that support mass migration don't get. Just to give you an example, I'm from Venezuela, and you probably know by now how the situation is there and the entire migration exodus. But here's another point of view from the inside, so to speak. For my entire life while I lived there, I suffered while seeing the vast majority of people simply not being able to behave in the same way as most people in first world countries. That is, just to give a few examples, most people just throw garbage on the floors, on the streets, on the beaches, on the river. Uh, the whole idea is that someone else will clean it. That's their thought. Hence why the cities are so dirty. And if you dare to speak up, it is you who are in the wrong. I remember, for example, one time I saw a lady with her two children and they were eating some snacks. And as soon as she finished eating, she threw up the wrapper on the floor. And just a few seconds after, when one of her children finished up eating, she instructed him to do the same. I remember that I got somewhat upset and I told her that it wasn't right to do that, nor to teach that to her children, especially because there was like a garbage can leach for like 2 or 3 meters away from where we were. Oh no, what a mistake I made. She got up and started screaming at me that it was none of my business, said something on the likes of, "How dare you tell me what I should do with my garbage? Shut up." And she went on and on until some other people around us started hearing the whole thing and they tried to calm her down. And when she explained why she was so upset, that is because I told her that littering is wrong, the people agreed with her. There was none of my business to say anything about it. So here I was thinking to myself, am I the crazy one? Am I wrong for telling people not to do wrong things? I eventually realized that simply most people there are like this. Curiously, these same people go on then and then complain about how dirty everything is. without being able to connect the dots. Oh, I threw garbage yesterday and for some reason today everything is dirty. I wonder why. And this is just an example. There are many, many cases like this I personally experienced throughout the years. Another thing, most people have a violent mentality where almost every discussion or disagreement among strangers and even friends will end up with someone being hurt or worse, or at the very least, the threats of harm being said. The idea of having a civilized debate with a proper exchange of ideas is pretty much non existent, and only strength or brute force it seems to be the defining factor of who is right. This goes hand in hand with the entire wave of criminality that has swept Venezuela and that has completely corrupted the vast majority of its youth. They see being a criminal or being members of a gang as something cool, as a sign of power. They think that stealing is easy, therefore, it is for smart people, while working hard and honestly is for fools. And above all, they are used to receiving zero consequences for their actions, so they see no drawback for their behavior. Also, after decades of socialism, most Venezuelans are completely contaminated with the ideas of having the state taking care of everything and everyone, that everything should be free, that is, the government should pay for it. The government should just give free money to people for doing nothing because free money is a right. This mentality has, of course, bankrupted the country. So, considering this, as I mentioned before, when I was looking to leave the country, I realized that what I wanted was just to get away from these people. Now, I'm not saying that all people there are like that. I met so many wonderful, smart, honest people in Venezuela, people that would very easily adapt to living in any place in the world and that would be productive members of society. But these people are a really small fraction of the population, like small islands of civilization in an ocean of madness. So when someone like me that left the country to escape these people suddenly finds himself living in a better society, overall having a better life, and all of a sudden you see these guys that destroy your home country arriving by the thousands or even millions, and since they can't help it, they start acting the same way they did back home. So if you had a clean street in your new country, it won't be a clean anymore. If you had a safe neighborhood, it won't be safe for long. Because the mistake these immigrants make when they arrive to a new place is to replicate the place they left, without understanding that if they do, they will create the same conditions they had before. And this is what people like me understand. We understand that people were the issue back home. And if vast numbers of these guys arrive here, they will bring their country with them. This is why we see that in every single place where vast majority of people like this have migrated into, you see them begging for money, begging for social assistance, for free housing, free food. That's why in every single place where vast majority of these individuals arrive, you see a spike in crimes. When arriving in mass, these people will replicate their home country. So that's why someone like me from Venezuela don't want Venezuelan migrants in massive numbers to arrive where I live, simply because they will turn this place into Venezuela. And the same thing applies to someone from Mexico being against more migrants from Mexico, or someone from Brazil not wanting to see a million Brazilians arriving to his city. Basically, it all comes down to we don't want to see our new homes turning into the hell we left, and bringing millions of individuals from there will achieve exactly that. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give you some insight into the matter. If you like the content, please like and subscribe so I can make more videos talking about these issues. And if you want to leave any feedback, just let me know in the comments whether you agree or not with the things I said.